What's up guys, it's Drac, and we tried to get this one out to you as quickly as possible, hence the interesting settings. So this is the Jurassic Pro, which came out of nowhere. No fanfare, no hype, obviously. Jurassic World Dominion is coming out. That's pretty exciting. I love the classic Jurassic Park movies. I'm not as familiar with the new Chris Pratt stuff, but I have seen all of them. So this looks to be a screen accurate, or at least as close as you could get to being screen accurate while still being a toy version of the, I guess, the taser rifle. It's got taser tongs in the movie as well as being like a bolt action sniper. What makes this really exciting and really interesting is, in addition to just having this really mean silhouette, comes with plenty of accessories, and it says Pro on it. In addition to saying Pro, once you take a look at this, it's clear that this is an Adventure Force collaboration with a Dart Zone, kind of along the lines of the Nexus Pro and the Aeon Pro. Given that it's called Pro, I think that that means that we can expect some serious performance out of it, and that is to be expected because over here we've got 125-foot ranges. It says that it comes with both a standard length and a half-length magazine adapter darts, the works. That's pretty exciting. There's not much more to say about it inside the package. We've got distances over 125 feet. We're advertising the classic like it comes with a lot of pieces, but I'm less invested in the number of pieces and more invested in how it's got a T-Rex on it. It's an officially licensed Pro Blaster, which is pretty cool, and it's doing something unique and different. A lot of the Pro Blasters kind of fit into this pump action niche. The Nexus, the Striker, the DZP, they all play more or less the same way. This changes that up and hopefully maintains the same level of performance while giving you a lot more style points. One thing that I want to focus on in the package, and we'll talk more about afterwards, is this is not a water glide, I don't think. This is like directly printed onto the blaster, which is pretty cool and opens up a lot of like deco options for the future. I think that it's really neat. It's kind of broken up by some of the standard warning label Garbaggio on it, but it's on the grip, it's on the blaster, it looks really, really good. I could give you the UPC number for this, but it's already been shared by my friend over in Texas who, huge thank you, sent this over so that I could get an early review. You've got the ET symbol, the universal symbol. It would be really interesting to see this show up at a theme park at some point, but right now it says Walmart.com on it, and I think this one's gonna be a Walmart exclusive. So in terms of getting it out of the package, we do not have our usual repertoire of cool stuff. We're gonna go standard old school box cutter. And let's, I guess we'll take we'll assemble it over here. It looks like in the package you get mag adapter, half-length mag, full-length mag. This is a unique geometry for both magazines. They both look a lot smoother than they usually would. You get the blaster itself, which we can free up like so. You get this really funky stock, and this stock, in addition to making it seem far more toyish, looks like, it's removable. So as opposed to your old school long strike, this slots in like that, looks really good actually. And if you wanted to take it apart for either storage or because you don't like the stock, it looks like you push these two buttons and it pops out. It's got two spring-loaded detents on either side. Plus, you've got like the mosquito eater. The mosquito, I don't know, trapped in a amber here. This would be an excellent candidate to fill with resin. I think there's a lot of aesthetic opportunity with a product like this. It looks like you get a single bolt over here along with your darts, and that bolt is not a permanent include either. This is surprisingly modular when compared to like the next closest thing, like a long strike or something along that lines. It looks like you could screw this in on this side if you want to be left-handed and prime with your right, or if you're, you know, like 90% of the world, you could screw it into this side, and it looks like it's metal threadings hitting a metal insert into a plastic priming bar up top. For those of you that are already thinking about modifying this, the breech looks pretty standard. Excited to see that. We'll definitely be making some accessories for this over on Foam Pro Shop. Just too cool not to. Looks like you have an adjustable sight here that flips up and down. And then this very real steel inspired sight is of course removable. We've got the standard Nexus sort of pick tinny, faux tinny, maybe it's pick tinny, who knows, on top. Then you've got this butt cap here, which I assume is where that plunger rod is going in. I guess my one comment so far is that if you lean into the stock, and you can see it there, there's a lot of power in this blaster. So when you prime, if you're not supporting the blaster, you get a little bit of flex that way. That said, a lot of the stock is inserted into the grip and really shores up a lot of that in and of itself. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll install the barrel. You get the barrel, and then it looks like whether or not you want to add, is this also removable? That's crazy. So that goes on, comes off, goes on, doesn't twist to lock into place. So you just either have the faux barrel or you don't. Now this would theoretically affect your ranges, but it looks way more like you're ready to corral a raptor pin when you're over here with your full setup and your taser tongs on there. That's pretty tight. So we do have 2 magazines. Now's a good time to point out that this blaster costs $65 at retail. So you're definitely paying the standard licensing tax, right? You could get a pro blaster for 50 United States dollars. Now, I think that the Striker is about $60 now. So really it's just the Nexus that's hanging in there at that $50 price point. But for $65, you get to live out your Jurassic Park fantasies. And I mean, dinosaurs are cool. Can we talk about briefly the irony, I doubt it's intentional, that Hasbro's best launches recently have been their dinosaur-themed blasters that really kind of take Hasbro back to having fun. And so we've got Nerf Dino blasters, and it seems like out of nowhere, we just have this mystery drop of Dart Zone. I mean, I think it's safe to say they're out for blood. Like, it's pretty humorous. I'm sure it's not on purpose because of how production cycles work, but how funny would it be if they were like, oh, Dino blasters? Dino Hunter Blaster, T-Rex Thumper. So I guess real quick, we'll fire a couple of rounds downrange. We'll just test. Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty tight. So we're definitely getting flat shots, you know, at the end of this yard, which is a good 70 feet away. I mean, it's pretty impressive. The mag release is a little far back there. You've got another pick rail up here if you wanted to put a light, a laser, or just a grip. In all honesty, this isn't bad. If you stripped it down to its very brass tacks, you'd be left with this as your main blaster doing bolt action stuff. It's kind of a shame that there isn't a second handle for people who would want to even out that prime using both hands at once. But aesthetically, I mean, it's really good. It's nice to see a pretty Real Steel inspired silhouette just in solid orange. I think that that's definitely the way to do it. And the adapter definitely looks like it would take talons in addition to katanas, these being more katana geometry, but we can slide the adapter in and then you use this as your release. Everything there seems pretty consistent with what we should be expecting. I can't wait to crack this thing open and do a modification guide for it. But I'm gonna fire one. That feels good too. That's not a bad stock. It helps that I'm like kind of hunched into it. So we are firing full length and half length Adventure Force Pros or AF Pros, the standard Walmart darts, these being the darts that are really cost effective in terms of their quality. I do want to put a few over the chronograph. I just want to get you guys that data. I wish that I could do a full breakdown and a modification guide, but I just don't have that ability right now. So I'll go ahead and put some over the chronograph. We'll go ahead and do the half lengths first. We are in here. Let's set up like so. That's 139. Duplicate 139, 140, 137, 141. Pretty standard in terms of Pro Blaster performance. It would be great to see a 150, but I'm assuming that we're breech loading into what has to be, let me take the mag out before I check this, what has to be a relatively short barrel length in this guy. Yeah, is there? I feel like there's an aluminum barrel in there, but it's hard to see because this orange piece here comes to about here, and then the plastic sort of insert here comes to about here. I feel like this thing could be a rocket if it had more barrel to work with, and I imagine that's part of what's limiting our performance right now. All right, so we got the full lengths over here. Let's put a few of those over. And that was 131. I'm having to chamber these really carefully because the humidity is pretty bad right now. That's 101, and again, I think we're not benefiting from the, 87. It's crazy. I think the 94. I think I might be getting some vacuum loading. This is a perfect example of why half lengths are just like the future of not just the hobby, but also like just any category of foam flinging. Back to 140, chambering easy, duplicate 140, pretty cool. Let's see if maybe taking the barrel off, stripping this down a little bit, helps with some of that, that drag. Pop that out. Again, these are the brand new darts. Trying to be really nice about how we chamber them in there too. And when we're nice, there's a 122. I mean, here, one more. 134. Okay, all right. So that's it. It's hard to, I guess, get more into it without actively taking it apart. I just don't have the time right now. But printing not only on one side, and this is a really nice printed pattern, but also on the other side, this side being very clean. They've done an excellent job of hiding kind of that warning text on some of these curvatures. It looks like they have to have flat surfaces for whatever this process is. The mirroring it onto the grip scales is really nice. The ability to take down and quickly assemble the blaster with both the barrel and the stock, I think, is really nice. At 65 bucks, this thing blows, you know, virtually any other performance-based blaster out of the water, just because it's getting pro-level performance with a stock, with sights, with bolt action. I mean, it's definitely the pro, quote-unquote, sniper rifle right now. I think that some of the paint jobs, if you painted this thing completely noob black, you'd be pretty dangerous. I would not recommend that. I think that for a cosplay like a Dragon Con or Comic Con or a prop like that, you'd probably be fine. Although I would still highly recommend leaving your orange taser tip on there just for the sake of safety, because it is, and I think that it would be bad not to mention, it's a pretty menacing silhouette if you murdered it out completely. But overall, I mean, I think this one's a huge win. I'm excited to see him at Walmart's here in Georgia before I cut this one up and start messing with it. You can absolutely expect to see some accessories for this on foamproshop.com very soon. Looks like it would take our sights. Super easy. I imagine we'll do something down here as well as probably mess with our standard suite of mag releases, skinny pushers, etc., and so forth. I mean, just a really cool blaster. Plus, dinosaurs, Jurassic World. How do you beat that? Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this first look. I would throw a link in the description box down below, but it seems like these are showing up early. I would just keep an eye on your Walmart toy shelf if you're hunting Jurassic World rifles of your own, the Jurassic Pro. Thank you guys for watching. Much love. Blast on Drac out.